Hey guys, it's James Dainard of Heaton Dainard Real Estate, and welcome to our $6.5 million flip. I know there was a lot of doubters, but we are pending at ask in less than 5 days on market. So what's the math behind this deal? Why did we buy such an expensive home to put all this money and resources in, and did it work out? So we paid $2.85 million for this property. Where did we get it? We actually bought it right off the Northwest MLS. It was a property that I had known about for over 10 years. It was something that actually got foreclosed in the first building boom of 2008 to 2010, or when the banking market melted down. It actually got foreclosed, went to sale, an investor bought it, then they sold it again 2 years later to another investor. That owner had taken it through 70% of the project. They had put siding on, they put the new windows in, they installed a new roof, and then they took it 70% through rough-ins, electrical, plumbing, and HVAC. So when we were looking at this opportunity, it was listed for $3 million on the market, and at the time it was worth about $4.8 to $5 million. With the cost of renovations, we thought that it was just too expensive. So after talking to the broker for over 6 months back and forth, it was listed, canceled, expired. Nobody wanted this property. Again, this thing was available to the masses. But after sitting there, staying with our numbers, working with the broker, we ended up contracting it for $2.75 million. During that time, we went through our feasibility and we checked all the building permits. We applied for a new building permit and got our permits being reissued during our feasibility. That was a very important thing for us to do when you're buying a project that's half built. If you end up closing on that project and you don't verify the permits, you might have to rip out substantially more work that you might not have anticipated just by doing your walkthrough. So always check your permits. So during our feasibility, we locked it up, and then we had to go through and we toured all of our comparable properties. We wanted to see what they had in them to build our budget out accordingly. Most flip properties we do cost us about $90 to $110 a square foot. This one, we spent $1.2 to $1.3 million finishing, which is about $220 a square foot. So by knowing your comparables, you have to know your comparables to create your budget and scope of work. As you can see, if we didn't tour our comparables, we might have put in the wrong kitchen. As we walk through this kitchen, you can see we have double dishwashers, oversized sink, we have a sub-zero fridge, we have a 48-inch Wolf range. This appliance set cost us nearly $40,000. We put in custom cabinets throughout the whole property. That was a $50,000 to $60,000 hit off our budget, and then countertops alone were 25 to 30 grand just to install those. So between our cabinets and appliances, we were already in this project for nearly $100,000 to $110,000. So those are things that you need to do when touring these comparables. What do they have? What don't they have? And then build your budget accordingly. Another thing that we had to do throughout this project, when you're buying something that's half built, you always got to check through all the spaces. So one thing that they had is we had to take out the previous investor's design. What he had done is he was designing a huge Mediterranean, which is not good for resale. So we ended up stripping down the siding, or kind of softening it out by kind of retexturing it. We ripped off their $50,000 roof they just installed, and we put on a metal roof, a $75,000 roof, just to get the design. If we would not have changed the design, we would have not have got the high premium as well. One thing that was here before as well was a giant koi fish pond. Not good for resale. Not a lot of people want a giant koi fish pond inside their house. So as we were walking through, it wasn't about just walking the comparables and picking the right specs. It was about putting the right game plan and scope of work in that would appease to the masses. So we took the koi fish pond, we built an outdoor undercover area. one thing that we noticed on all the homes that were selling for $5 million and above, they all had these finished outdoor spaces and they had dialed in landscaping. We spent $120,000 on our landscaping by installing over 100 trees. We put in AstroTurf, we did paver patios, we did a paver driveway. All these things are what's gonna make it to where you can sell that property for top dollar. And when you're buying something as expensive as it is, you need the margin to be big because there's lots of swings in the market. So this project took us roughly 9 months to finish out. Most of the reason being is during our feasibility, I had it quoted out by a local builder and a good friend of mine, Eric Placco. The reason we wanted to bring in a builder versus rather than running ourselves or having our normal generals do it is because our other generals on fix and flip, they don't offer warranties. We don't warranty our fix and flip. We warranty our new construction, but this was kind of a hybrid. It's a half-built house, not really a fix and flip. It's very expensive, so we wanted to make sure we were offering a builder warranty to the next buyer. When you're selling expensive items, people get wary if they don't have a warranty to back it up. They feel like the workmanship's not gonna be good. So we brought in this other builder, which probably cost us about 25% more than we normally would spend, but we did it because it was necessary in the plan. It's not always about the numbers, it's about how do you accomplish that end goal. As you come through, and the reason I just want to take you guys through this is this master suite is awesome. It wasn't just about the house, the location, it was also the feel. When you're spending a lot of money on any kind of project, you want to make sure that you're walking through any kind of objections. We knew the target buyer on this was going to be a larger family. It was a 6,000 square foot house. It's in a great area with great schools. The floor plan needed to match that demographic we're trying to sell to. This floor plan had when we got it, had a 3-bedroom, 4-bath upstairs with 3 extra flex rooms on it. We turned one of the bedrooms into a 4th bedroom, so we had a 4-bed, 4-bath, plus an en-suite on the top floor, so that's 5 beds, 4 bath, which made it very desirable for most buyers in the market. We also knew that would put us above our competition because most of the product being sold only had 4 bedrooms up, so we had that additional space. Additional space is really valuable to people to where they'll pay you that premium. Other things that you want to do as you're kind of designing out, we had to think about, it wasn't just floor plan, so we found the deal. We knew the math worked. We knew we could pay 2.75. We had a bid from a contractor or a builder that we could get a warranty from for 1.2 plus landscaping. And then we had good comparable data that we had toured every project on that had the value at 4.9 to 5 million. As the market started appreciating rapidly during this time, you get a better kick on these luxury flips as well. You know, when you have a 10% jump on 5 million, that's gonna be 500,000 versus a 10% jump on 500,000, that's 50,000. So the larger project you do, if you're going into a hot, frothy market, you get more upside in your net profit. The bad news is you gotta come up with more cash. I keep coming in and out of the shower because I'm in love with it. So the other things we did, you guys, not just the math slide, we had to nail the design. So Megan Halter at Heaton, Dainard Real Estate, she designed everything. We tweaked the shower. Before, it was like a kind of a more narrow shower. It felt too small for the space. We had an oversized bathroom. So we did redo a lot of what the builder had done. We expanded the shower out, we added the toilet room, and then we ripped out, he had cheaper valves throughout the whole project that he had roughed in that we ripped out for designer, more European valves. So as you're going through these projects, it's not just about saving cost. Again, think about that exit plan at the end. If we had a good roof on this house, it was a brand new one, we still ripped it off anyways. It didn't match what we were trying to accomplish. So how did the deal all the way work out? So we paid 2.75 million for it. We put 1.3 million into it. We were able to turn this property in about 10 months start to finish. That's actually a fairly quick project in the Seattle market where our typical turn times on these big ones are about 12 to 14 months. So in luxury flipping, it's more about putting the right pieces and plan together than anything else. Our biggest struggle was making sure that we had the capital to do so. We had to have over $1 million to do this project. So that's why we brought in an equity partner, we stabilized the deal, and then sold it off. The biggest, hardest part of this was bringing in the money. So as long as we solved that, we could put the right systems in play. I will tell you, I have flipped or been involved in over 3,000 flips. This was one of my easiest ones. The reason being is we just had a plan that allowed for it to make it easy. We didn't go in and hack back our budget. We just gave it more budget to make sure the plan worked on all different avenues. This is by far the most expensive, most proudest, and the most profitable project we've done. We've definitely got some market upside. So what do we do now that we're done with this project? We move on to our next deal. If you're in the Pacific Northwest and you have opportunities, please think of me, send it my way. We make it life easy on you. And also for more updates and tips on luxury flipping, we're working on a $4 and a $5 million flip in Bellevue and Redmond. Stay tuned for those and the updates, and check out our YouTube channel, ProjectRE, for updates, tips, and how to get yourself into these expensive homes.